And Laban said, Behold, I would it might be according to thy word. According to thy word, let it be. And he removed that day the he goats that were ring-streaked and spotted, and all the she goats that were speckled and spotted, and every one that had some white in it, and all the brown among the sheep, and gave them to the hand of his sons. And he set 3 days' journey between himself and Jacob. And Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flocks. Okay, let's continue. Look at since we deal with multiple wives, let's look at Genesis 28 and 9. Genesis 28 and 9. Then with Esau, now Esau was Isaac's son. Esau and Jacob. Esau was a Hebrew, just like Jacob was a Hebrew. He still is a Hebrew. So Isaac taught him the laws. So Genesis 28 and 9. Then went Esau unto Ishmael, that's Hagar and Abraham's son, and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife. You know, because verse 8, and Esau seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took her to the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife. Let's continue our look at our forefather Abraham. Genesis 25 and verse 6. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, so Abraham had concubines too. Abraham gave gifts and sent them away with from Isaac his son while he yet lived, eastward unto the east country. Read it again. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac with his son while he yet lived, eastward unto the east country. Right? So Abraham had concubines too. Genesis 31 verse 17. Genesis 31:17. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon camels. So he had wives. We had wives from Leah and Bilhah and Zilpah and Rachel. Verse 20. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian. So Laban the Syrian, so that's Rebecca, our foremother Isaac's wife, that's her brother, which Leah and Rachel would be Jacob's cousins, first cousins, but they were Syrians. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled. So he let him know he was leaving with his sons and his daughters and his wives, Laban's daughters and their handmaids. So he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river and set his face toward the Mount Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was fled. He took his brethren with him and pursued after him 7 days' journey. And they overtook him in the Mount Gilead. And the Most High came to Gabriel, Laban the Syrian, in a dream by night. Remember, the Most High speak to us in dreams and visions. And said unto him, take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. Watch how you talk to my servant Jacob. And Laban overtook Jacob. Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount. Laban with his brethren pitched in the mount of Gilead. Laban said to Jacob, what hast thou done? Thou hast stolen away unawares to me. You left without telling me you was leaving, and carried away my daughters as captives taken with the sword. Wherefore didst thou flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and didst not tell me, that I might have sent thee away with mirth, and with songs, and with tabrets, and with harp? I had a party. Remember, they came in partying. Don't send him out partying. And hast not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters. Thou hast now done foolishly in so doing. It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt. But the Most High of your father, see what he say? The Most High of your father, knowing that he's not the power of the Syrians, the Most High power of your father spake unto me yesterday, saying, take thou heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. And now, though thou would have needs be gone, because thou sore longest after thy father's house, yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? See? All the gods of the nations are idols. He said, why you steal my gods? And Jacob answered and said to Laban, because I was afraid. Well, I said, provision, perhaps thou wouldst take by force thy daughters from me. You will keep my wives from me. With whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Before our brethren discern thou what is thine with thee, and take it to thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. Miss Goody Two Shoes, well favored, beautiful, of all women, right? He loved her. She done stole her daddy's gods. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into two maid servants' tents, but he found them not. Then went he out of Leah's tent and entered into Rachel's tent. Look at what she did. Now Rachel had taken the images and put them in the camel's furniture, and sat upon them, and Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. She's sitting on them. And she said to her father, let it not displease my lord, let it not displease my master, that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of the woman is upon me. I'm on my cycle. I'm on my monthly cycle. And he searched, but found not the images. Jacob was wroth and shy with Laban. Jacob answered and said to Laban, what is my trespass? What is my sin, that thou hast so hotly pursued after me? Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, what hast thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge between us both. Now you know, this is what he said. This 20 years have I been with thee. So 20 years he was with Leah, Rachel, and Bilhah, and Hilkiah. He was with all of them. 20 years? So you think he ain't teaching them the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High? How to be righteous? This 20 years have I been with thee. Thy ewes and thy she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hand this thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. I had to pay for it. Thus I was in the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle. And thou hast changed my wages 10 times. 10 times he changed his wages. Except the Most High of my father, the power of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely thou hast sent me away now empty. The Most High have seen mine affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. So he rebuked you yesterday. I told you, don't say nothing to me, good or bad. Laban answered and said unto Jacob, these daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto their children which they have borne? Now therefore come down, let us make a covenant, and I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones, and they took stones and made an heap, and they did eat there upon the heap. Laban called it Jazar Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Gilead. Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Gilead. But you see, Rachel, the beautiful one, the well-favored one, stole his gods and claimed she was on her cycle and hit him, sat on him. So look at what happened. Look at Genesis 35, verse 16. 35, verse 16. And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was but a little way to come to Ephrath. And Rachel travailed, meaning she was having contractions, she had this baby. And she had hard labor. And it came to pass, when she was in hard labor, these contractions are, I can't even imagine. You women know, though, that the midwife said unto her, fear not, thou shalt have this son also. And it came to pass, as her soul was in departing, for she died. When her spirit was leaving her, for she died, that she called his name Ben-Ani. But his father called him Benjamin. And Rachel died and was buried in the way to Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. And Jacob set a pillar upon her grave, that is the pillar of Rachel's grave unto this day. She died. That's why it's not cool to be dealing in a certain spirit, or in a certain mindset. Let's get some more. Genesis, the 36th chapter, first verse. Just bear with me because we don't go all through this. It says Genesis 36 and 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who was Edom. This represents the indigenous so-called white Caucasians forefather, Esau. They became the Edomites, meaning the red nation. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Inah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Bathsheba, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebaioth. And Adah bare to Esau, Eliphaz, and Bathsheba bare Reuel. So you see how they talk about these wives, but they talk about how they bear children for them. And that's what you're seeing. And the ones that didn't bear children felt that was a reproach. And verse 5, and Aholibamah bare Jeush and Jehoram and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house and his cattle and all his beasts and all his substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Jacob. So he left from the face of his brother Jacob. Let's look at let me take it to the let me make sure that I go back over King David. So we don't forget. A lot of you might not have seen the first episode, or you might have forgotten. Let's go back to first 2 Samuel 12 and 7. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man. Thus said the Most High power of Israel. This is what the Most High telling King David. David is a man that you read from 1 to 7, 1 to 6, you'll see the story that he's telling King David about what he did. Now Nathan is saying, thus said the Most High power of Israel. This is the Most High speaking. He said, I, which is the Most High, anointed thee king over Israel. So the Most High anointed King David king over Israel. And I, that's the Most High, delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. The Most High said, I delivered you out of the hand of Saul. I made sure that Saul couldn't kill you. This is the Most High. The I is the Most High. And I, that's the Most High again, gave thee thy master's house. So he gave King David King Saul's house, and thy master's wives into thy bosom. So the Most High said, I gave you King Saul's, your master, his master's wives, plural. Now y'all gotta help me out, because this is the Most High saying what he gave King David. His master's wives, plural, into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel, gave him the northern tribes, and of Judah, and the southern tribes, all 12 tribes. He gave to King David. And if that had been too little, if what I gave you and given you a master's house, master wives, after you had wives from Hebron, he had wives from Jerusalem, he said that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. I would have gave you more. More wives, more riches, more everything. If that had been too little, I'd have made sure I gave you more. So, and he was telling that because of the fact that King David had committed adultery and he had murdered Uriah the Hittite, Bathsheba's husband. But he forgave him. That's why he told him in verse 13, and David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against the Most High. And Nathan said unto David, the Most High also have put away thy sin. The Most High forgave him. Thou shalt not die. Thou shalt not die. But David had walked for 40 years too. Okay, let's go to the New Testament. I want to bring something out. I want to ask a question. Because you see that was the Most High there. Now, H.O.I, which is the son of the Most High, let me make sure I bring some understanding here right quick. Go to St. John, 14th chapter. And we're going to read verse 8. Philip said unto him, Mashiach, show us the Father, and it suffices us. It will satisfy us. Mashiach said unto him, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father? So you see me, you seen the Father. So how are you going to say, show me the Father? That's what he said. Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me. He doeth the works, okay? So he's just telling you that the words that he's speaking are the words of the Most High, because he is the word of the Most High. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake, right? So the words that he's speaking are the words of the Most High. So let's go to Matthew the 25th chapter. Matthew 25. And we're going to look at one down. Matthew 25 and 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven, it's the kingdom of heaven, be likened unto 10 virgins. 10 virgins. A virgin is a woman of marital age, whether she have sex or not. That's a virgin. 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. So now, virgins meeting the bridegroom. The bridegroom is who? The husband. Now I ask you a question. Would H.O.I give a parable that's an abomination, that's a filthy, wicked act, that's a sin? Yes or no? No. He's speaking the words of the Most High. Remember, the words that I'm speaking are the words of the Most High. We just read that. So you have 10 virgins, and you have a bridegroom, which bridegroom is who? An husband. Now spiritually, there's a whole other breakdown to this, but I'm just dealing with the words that's written here. Okay? Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. The bridegroom is the husband. You got 10 virgins. You got one man, which is the bridegroom, which is the husband. I hope that's not too hard for you to understand. Don't take a rocket science to figure that out. Look it up. Bridegroom represents the husband. And 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. So you got 5 that were wise and 5 virgins that were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. So those that were foolish, they took their lamps, but they took no oil with them. This is H.O.I telling the story, which is the word of the Most High. Like he said, he speaks the words that he speaks is the words of the Most High. But the wise took oil in their left vessels with their lamps. So the wise took oils in their vessels with their lamps so they could light them up. But the foolish didn't. 5 and 5, okay? 10 altogether. While the bridegroom tarried, while the husband tarried, they all slumbered and slept. They all went to sleep. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh. At midnight they heard the cry, here come the husband. The husband is coming. 10 virgins, 1 man. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, the husband cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Go ye out to meet him. Meet the husband. Then all those virgins rose and trimmed their lamps. They got their lamps together. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. We don't have no light. Our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. I can't give you any of my oil, because there won't be enough for my lamps and your lamps. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves. Go to them that sell oil, and buy some oil for yourselves. And while they went to buy, listen, and while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And while they went to buy, they were gone. 5 of them was gone, didn't have any oil. The bridegroom came, the husband came. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage. How you gonna give abomination? That's a filthy, wicked act. If a man can't have more than one woman, how's these 5 women that's virgins going into the wedding chamber, went into the marriage? Marriage. And the door was shut. That's the wedding chamber door. The door was shut. You know, we just read about our forefather Jacob going into the wedding chamber. Laman made a feast and so forth, saying, oh yeah, we're going to feast. And Jacob came out that morning, realized that he done laid with Leah. It wasn't Rachel, but it was Leah. But that's where it was. Just like we have today, you get married, a man and a woman get married, and you have what after the wedding? A reception. Where our culture was, you had what they call a wedding chamber that you went into. And you were going to the wedding chamber, a man and a woman, and generally the women would be virgins. Therefore, they would have a cloth. They call it a chastity cloth. A cloth that they put under the woman, and when her hymen is busted, the blood would be on the cloth, and when she come out from the wedding chamber, everybody celebrating, oh, they married now. They clapping, they having a good time, they partying. Just like we had a reception. And the woman that got married would give the cloth with the blood on it to her father. This is our custom. And this is what he's talking about. And it can't be an abomination. He's not going to speak about an abomination. Actually, it's a spiritual meaning to all of this, where I'd have to precept it all that you've heard so far in Matthew 25th chapter and dealing with what he's speaking of. But he wouldn't say, like, we sat down and we were righteous as ever, and we sat down and ate some pork chops as a parable. He ain't giving no parable like that. Show me where that's happening. It's not going to happen, because that'll lead you in the wrong direction. But you see, as it says here, this is Mashiach Yahushua. In Matthew 25:10, and while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, which is the husband came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. See? But that's a parable of words that's, I don't think he would give to us. It was something that would be a filthy, wicked act of iniquity or sins to deceive us. I don't believe so. Verse 11. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Master, Master, open to us. Let us in the wedding chamber. Let us in the marriage. It's a marriage. You see, it said in verse 10, and while they went to buy, the 5 foolish virgins, the bridegroom came. The bridegroom came. The husband came. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage. The husband and the wives. The 5 went in with him to the marriage. And the door was shut. This is our custom. It's something like, when you look at how our custom was. I mean, it's what we did. See if I can find an example of it for you. I'll find it. I'll find it. I can't think of where it's at right now. But let's continue with the word of the Most High. I want to go to, there's a controversy too while we're on it. I want to go to 1 Timothy, 1st chapter. In the 3rd chapter, 1 Timothy, 3rd chapter, and we're going to read verse 1 to 7. Say, this is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desire for good work. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife. We're going to concentrate on this husband of one wife, right? That's what it's interpreted to be. Vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach. Not given to wine, nor striker, nor greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the Most High's, the church of the Most High? Not a novice, I mean, you can't be no beginner, just learning, lest being lifted up with pride he fall into the condemnation of the devil. Yeah, you got to be in this for a minute. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into reproach, a disgrace, and a snare of the devil, right? So, I have some literature by Isaac Aloshia. Are the elders prohibited from having more than one wife? And it says, we just read 1 Timothy 3, 1 to 7, gives some qualifications the elders should have. Verse 2 states that a bishop or overseer must be the husband of one. That's Strong's number 3391. In the Strong's Concordance, wife. 1 Timothy 3, 8 to 13 gives some qualifications deacons should have. So let's read verse 8. Likewise must the deacons be grave, not double-tongued, double-minded, not given to much wine, nor greedy of filthy lucre, running after money, holding the mystery of the faith in a pure conscience. And let these also first be proved. Then let them use the office of a deacon, being found blameless. Even so must their wives be grave, not slanderers, sober, faithful in all things. Let the deacons be the husbands of one wife, so that one wife again, ruling their children and their own houses well. For they have used the office of a deacon well purchased to themselves a good degree, and great boldness in the faith which is by H.O.I, rolling in the name of the Lord and Savior. So, 1 Timothy, the 3rd chapter we just read, 8 to 13, gives some qualifications deacons should have. Verse 12 states that deacons should be the husband of one, that's Strong's number 3391, wife. Titus 1, 5 to 9 also gives some qualifications elders should have. Titus 1, 5 to 9. Whoever came on the conference call, could you press star 6? Titus 1, and 5. For this cause left I thee in Crete, that thou shouldest set in order the things that are wanting, and ordain elders in every city as I had appointed thee. If any be blameless, the husband of one wife, having faithful children, not accused of riot or unruly, like you see here, husband of one wife again. For a bishop must be blameless as the steward of the Most High, not self-willed, not prideful, not soon angry, not given to wine, nor striker, not given to filthy lucre, chasing after money, but a lover of hospitality, a lover of good men, sober, just, holy, temperate, holding fast the faithful word as he hath been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers. Okay? Let me say again, I'm not promoting this. I'm bringing forth the edification of what it is that the Spirit has brought to me. It's not for everyone. Understand this. So Titus 1, as we just read, 5 to 9, also gives some qualifications elders should have. Verse 6 states that elders should be the husband of one, Strong's number 3391 again, wife. 1 Timothy 5, 3 to 16 talks about honored widows and gives some qualifications honored widows should have. 1 Timothy 5, the 5th chapter, 3 to 16. Honor widows that are widows indeed. But if any widow have children of nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home, and then to requite their parents. But that is good and acceptable before the Most High. Now she that is a widow indeed and desolate, trusteth in the Most High, and continueth in supplications and prayers night and day. She crying to the Most High and praying to the Most High night and day. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. For that live in pleasure in this world is dead. A dead Israelite while she liveth. And these things give in charge, that they may be blameless. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith, and is worse than an infidel. I mean, you're supposed to be taking care of the best you can your home. Let not a widow be taken into a number under 80 old, which is 60 years old, having been the wife of one man. It said, having been the wife of one man, not many men, but one man. Well reported of for good works, if she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she have washed the saints' feet, if she have received the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work. But the younger widows refuse. For when they have begun to wax wanton against Mashiach, they will marry. It's stuck because the widows, the young virgins, and the younger widows, they're gonna be wanting for the life that they had with a man. So he said when they become wanting against Mashiach, they will marry. Let them marry. Having damnation because they have cast off their first faith. And withal they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, running their mouth, speaking things which they ought not. I would therefore that the younger woman marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary, the devil, to speak reproachfully, disgracefully, with her mouth, speaking all kind of vain things. For some are already turned aside after Satan. Say some at that time, and some at this time have already turned aside to Satan. If any man or woman that believes have widows, let them relieve them, and let not the church be charged, that it may relieve them that are widows indeed. Okay. That's all I want to read. So I want to read this. It says, this is the author's note. It says, subsequent to the following writings, Jeffrey B. White has drawn notice to the author that Strong's exhaustive concordances rendition of the Greek words mia and hia. Just a moment. Lost the conference call. So like your summer continue, it says, it's the author's note. It says, subsequent to the following writing, Jeffrey B. White has drawn notice to the author that Strong's exhaustive concordances rendition of the Greek words mia, M-I-A, and his, H-E-I-S, is not as complete as rendered by other authorities. While the conclusion reached in the following article is valid in that elders are not prohibited from having more than one wife, correct usage of mia and his does not prove the issue either way. Where the verses have been rendered one wife or one husband, they should be rendered a wife or a husband. The implication being that elders should be married. The author therefore thanks Jeffrey White for pointing out this matter. That's why we're going through, you're seeing the one wife over and over again.